Hi everybody, this is Ting. Today I'm discussing about parasitic birds, more so about the eggshell pattern evolution. So what is a parasitic bird? So we start off with a parasitic relationship where one benefits while the other organism is harmed in the relationship. Today I'll be talking about the brood parasites, a reproductive strategy that birds use in order to combat some living lifestyles they have to adapt while laying their eggs in other birds' nests. So birds are well known for their parental care. They take care of their chicks from the day they came out of the ovaries to the day they are old enough to fly off the nest. And they are also a common species to act as a parasitic animal that relies on other bird species to take care of their own young. It's because of the parasitic birds, such as the cuckoo or the cowbirds, a lot of endangered species of birds start dwindling in number. So the cowbird is a very common parasitic bird. Their Latin genesis name, Mothorus, means intruder. They are commonly used. Other birds that are mostly neurotropical migrants. Neurotropical migrants are groups of birds that migrate between their breeding grounds from North, Central, and South America. These birds include the warblers, the tangers, and then the virals and thrushes, which are most of the time victimized by the cowbird and cuckoo. So a little history of the cowbirds. The cowbirds, they originally follow the buffaloes around to feed around their feet with the insects around their feet. So as the buffalo herd is migrating, so that leaves them little to no time to sit and build a nest and rear their youngs. So in order to combat this, they used the brood parasitic technique where they lay their eggs in other species' nests. So one female cowbird can lay up to 40 eggs per season, using to low parental care to none. And from birth, young parasitic chicks have killer instincts, which kicks in telling them to get rid of the competition. So in the next slide, there is a link to a video where it will show a baby chick pushing the host's egg out of this nest. It's also has developed an arch right between the shoulder blades so that it could hold and hoist the egg over the nest. In the video, you will see that the nest is built up on a high above the water. There are the host birds. They have tried to combat the parasitic birds by different techniques on distinguishing their eggs, and I'll get to that later on. So in this picture, you see that this is the blue one is the common cuckoo, and it has infiltrated the restarts in Europe, and they're the turquoise looking eggs. And you can tell that the bigger one is the cuckoo's egg compared to the other size of the others, but the color is very similar. And on the lower left, the picture shows the brown-headed cowbird and the eastern phoebes. The eastern phoebes are the white ones, and as you can tell, the brown-headed cowbirds is the speckled one. So they are doing a pretty good job blending in and infiltrating the host's nest. So how are eggs produced? The production of the egg, it begins in the female's ovaries. Fertilization occurs, it's like a assembly line. They slowly go down the ovaries, and then they will slowly add the calcium, and the shell carbonates, and then the pigmentation, which we are going to talk about, is the last thing to be added before it's laid. And this process can take up to 24 hours before it's produced. So the color, there's actually 3 different colors, main colors in the pigmentation. The protophyrin produces the reddish brown color, and the biviridin produces the shade of blue and green. There is a variation of on how the colors show off, or a mixture. You can also tell the color of the egg by looking at the color of the egg can tell a lot about the female bird's diet as well. Coloration is used for camouflage, to blend in to their surroundings so predators can't find them, or they're used for recognition, which I will talk to about later, which how host birds will use to tell apart the parasitic eggs. And there's also one is they synchronize bright color eggs. There is one host bird that lays their, I think it's the wamblers. They lay bright color eggs to help synchronize everybody to lay their eggs all at the same time, so that it would decrease the level of parasitic invasion of their nest. So other reasons why brightly colored eggs such as turquoise and bright green are used could be benefit was in a theory called blackmail theory by Daniel Henley. He said that because it's so bright and vibrant that it's out in the open for predators to come and take them, it would make the male mates more active and take part in the parental care. So how do they host birds fight back and identifying which one is their egg and which one is the parasitic egg? So different birds have different strategies. So the first strategy is the color. So they'll constantly change their color depending upon if the parasitic bird's egg color is getting closer and closer, the female host bird would change its coloration just a little bit more. So it's like an arms race all the time. And then also they will also add patterns to their eggs, so that in order for the parasitic bird to invade into their nest, they'll have to mimic those patterns, which would include like really thin squiggly lines, splotches, or certain specific design towards specific birds. The Malloris sinus, they actually give their unborn chicks passwords when they're in the eggs, so that if because the parasitic birds, they actually hatch like a few days earlier than the host's egg. So if the parasitic bird hatches before, and then the mother will ask for a password, and if it does not give the password out, the mother will throw it out of the nest or peck it to death. Another comment would be hiding your nest from the cuckoos and cowbirds, which would be out of reach areas that cuckoos or cowbirds couldn't reach because of how big they are. And another way is neighborhood security, which is where neighbor wanderers would alert each other that there's a cuckoo nearby, so that they will guard their own nest tightly to make sure that parasitic birds wouldn't come and lay their nest. And of course, another way is they would shift breeding seasons, where they would change different seasons and to lay their eggs, so that it'll throw the parasitic birds off guard until they eventually catch on, and then they will shift again. And then lastly, another way is egg arrangement. Certain birds actually arrange their egg in a specific position every now and then. So if the parasitic bird came in and laid their egg, they would know, because they will remember not placing or arranging that specific egg in that position, and the egg will be thrown out in order to prevent it from taking over. And that concludes my video. Right. Thank you.